beautiful people, it's your favorite trash queen Manu, and I'm back with a new video. So, my last video blew up. I wasn't expecting that, but because of it, I got a whole bunch of new subscribers. So, hello new humans, I love you. Anyway, everyone left me really nice comments about my style and my art, and I really appreciate all the love, guys. So thanks for that. Also, I got a bunch of comments asking about my watercolor brush and where to download it. Unfortunately, there's nowhere to download it, as my watercolor brush is a brush that I did make myself. But if you're interested in it, I'm going to be including a demo at the end of this video, and in the demo I'll show you quickly how to make the brush, its settings, and I'll give a quick demonstration on how to use it. Oh, also, apparently, according to a lot of comments, I sound like Mabel from Gravity Falls. I mean, like, you know what, that's funny, because it's not actually the first time I've been told that I sound like her, but I mean, I honestly, I don't hear it. Maybe it's because I'm just so used to hearing my own derpy voice that I just can't hear it in it. Anyway, enough rambling, so let's get on to the video. So for today, we're going to be drawing Osana. So all the Yandere similar characters pretty much all have the same body proportions. Well, I mean, they all seem to be the same height at least. I mean, really the only thing that seems to be different between the designs is that some characters have bigger breasts than the others. So I decided to change Osana's height. I decided she'd be shorter than Yandere-chan, whose name I think is Ayano, but I like calling her Yandere-chan better. So I kept the same semi-moe style that I used for Yandere-chan. Osana is supposed to be like a childhood friend character, so I kind of wanted her to give her like more of a girl next door type vibe. So I ended up making her eyes rounder than Yandere-chan's, and I made her facial features a little bit softer. In the original artwork, she looks like she's telling someone off. I almost went that with a similar pose, but I didn't. I decided to go with more of a, you know, I'm right, you're wrong, how dare you do this, you dumb idiot, tsundere type pose for her. So for those who don't know, I originally drew this artwork months ago. As I said in my last video, I drew Yandere-chan, Senpai, and Osana all together, but I only ended up coloring Yandere-chan. So like now, recording this voiceover like months later, I'm looking at this artwork and I'm like, oh my god, those thighs though, they're so powerful, them thick thighs. Rest assured, I go back and I fix them later on. So for her hair, I wanted to pretty much keep it the same. So like when I'm doing these redesigns, I don't like to change anything way too much, because you know, I still want people to be able to recognize the character. So I'll usually just choose a few elements that I like from the original design, or elements that are interesting about the original design, and I just try to spice them up and, I don't know, I guess make them more interesting. So I kept Osana's long twin tails, but I decided to make them wavy. I also changed her bangs, but only a little bit. outfit, well, she's obviously wearing the same school uniform that I designed before. So from the beginning, I knew one thing that I was going to change though was her stockings. All the characters seem to have these like pattern stockings, and the pattern stockings just look off to me. I know that she has polka dotted scrunchies in her hair, and perhaps the stockings are meant to match those, but it's they were honestly throwing me off. So since Yandere-chan is wearing like thigh-high stockings, I decided to give Osana trouser socks that have been folded over. For those who were curious to why I was coloring in parts of the image red, I just do this to select the areas for coloring. I ended up giving her the same skin tone as Yandere-chan, so nothing interesting here. I wanted to add that I'm actually using a new version of Psy. So during the section when you saw me drawing Osana, which I told you earlier was actually months ago, I was using the old version of Psy. So within the last few months, I've updated to the newer version of Psy, which is Psy version 2. It's free as long as you buy the original Psy, and it came with a lot of new brushes. Like I found a new blending brush that I'm in love with. And this version, it's a million times better than the original Psy. So like if you're a Psy user, I recommend just updating. Don't even think about it, just update. You will not be disappointed. Ugh, her hair. Her hair. The hair that became the bane of my existence. So, as I said in the Trailblazer video, in the House of Azumi we do not stand saturated colors. So, I desaturated her hair a lot and I ended up making the orange darker. And the reason I decided to make her hair darker was because of her hair accessories. So, in the original artwork, the red of the hair accessories and the orange of her hair are way too similar, so the hair accessories just kind of blend in, so I wanted to make them stand out more. Also, this hair took me forever to color, and I even cheated. I used copy and paste. I feel absolutely no shame for my actions. I'm just glad it's over. In her original artwork, it seems like the bottom of her ponytails are yellow. I don't know if that's a thing that the original artist does or if her hair is actually two-toned. So I decided to add yellow there anyway, and it actually turned out really fancy. I like it.
You are now listening to Macross 8299.
So while I was coloring this, I decided to experiment with the colors that I was going to be using in her hair. Because for the most part, I only use about 3 colors. I usually use uh, like a really light teal, yellow, or like a pastel green. I didn't end up doing anything special with that lighting that you saw me change there. I ended up going with like my standard green, but I mean, it was a fun experiment. I usually experiment when I work on a piece. Like every piece I work on, I always experiment with something new. And I mean, that's what led me to my way of coloring today, was just a bunch of experimenting.
But I drive past code don't match. Damn, why again? And now I'm connecting. Now I can get it. Not feeling neglected by you. And now I'm connecting. My friends now can get me and take me away from my crew.
So I hate doing line art. The line art for her hair wasn't that bad, to be honest, and the reason for that is because her twin tails are the same, so I was able to copy and paste one, like the sneaky sneak that I am. Haha. Yandere-chan and now with Osana, I ended up selecting each part of the uniform separately. So like the whites were with the whites, the reds with the reds, blues with the blues, and I did that to save time because honestly, my preferred method is just selecting the entire um, outfit and then blending all the colors on the same layer because I like it when the colors bleed into each other, but it does take longer to do it that way because sometimes the colors would be a little too free and they would bleed a little too much and gotta go back and fix it and blah 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 blah. So I'm trying to do this more because it is more streamlined, but unfortunately I don't get all those nice like color happy accidents that I normally get. So I wanted to keep the red of the socks, because you know in her original artwork she is wearing red socks. Also for her hair accessories, I did end up changing the ribbon and making it blue because there was just a lot of red going on the top of her head. I had a lot of comments asking me if I would consider making a tutorial teaching everyone how to color like I do, and I do plan on making a tutorial eventually, but honestly I think I want to make it when I reach like a really big channel milestone, like 5,000 or like 10,000 subscribers, something like that. With all the new subs I got, it's giving me a lot more motivation, so I am going to be uploading a lot more frequently. So I'm rambling again, so the short answer is yes, eventually there will be a tutorial for this way of coloring. I do plan on making other tutorials though, not necessarily for this way of coloring, but for other ways of coloring, like ways of coloring that I've used in the past. Because if you're not familiar with me or my art, I have done so many different ways of coloring, trying to figure out something I like. It's within the last like almost 3 years that I finally found the direction that I was looking for this entire time of my long art journey. And I want to share those older techniques because honestly there was nothing wrong with them. It's just not what I wanted for my art, and I feel like if I can show them to other people and maybe have them help them on their art journey, you know, I want to do that. So I'm rambling again. So yes, eventually there's going to be some tutorials for coloring, and at a milestone of the channel we'll have a fancy watercolor tutorial video.
不管我到哪里，我都想着你。我超想要每天都可以跟你在一起。你那美丽的眼神，那无邪的天真，一定是我上辈子修来最好的验证。不必多说，也不必啰嗦，所有一切喜怒哀乐我都不想错过。只有我了解你，我想告诉你 ，baby 我不能离开你。无可脑袋都是你的画面，瞬间我都还会在闪你的视线，期待可以再见到你的那一天。闪着闪着，现在已经半夜3点，我进入梦乡。 带着你飞翔，我们的故事在我梦里继续讲，让我继续讲。
the thing that I do. I am weirdly obsessed with these two colors. I add these two colors to all of my artwork, and it's usually some like light blue and yellow, and I've been doing that for, jeez, it's like almost 11 years now. I mean, I add it in everything. It's in the shadows, it's in the highlights, it's in the ambient lights or whatever you call those. And I honestly can't even vocalize why I like these colors so much or why I add them to everything, but I guess I just like the way it looks. So to finish off, I added a quick simple background, and then I added what are basically fake paint splotches to make it look a little bit more like it's traditional watercolor, and we're almost done. And it's time for the reveal, and here we are, my version of Osana. So I put her right next to Yandere-chan so you could really see the difference in between the two characters. I'm a bit of a dumb face, and I forgot to post up the picture of Yandere-chan on my Instagram. Also, thanks so much everyone for all the new followers that I got on Instagram. I love all of you guys, thank you. So I'm gonna post up both Osana and Yandere-chan on my Instagram. My social media is up on the screen. I do post the most on Instagram, so that's the best place to follow me if you want to see more of my art. My next video is going to be fun. It's going to be a character designing video, so if you're interested in character design, stay tuned for that. If you like what you see and you want to see more of my art, I guess, subscribe and hit the like button. And if you want to see my watercolor brush, stay tuned for my demo. Alrighty, for anyone who is interested in my watercolor brush, here's my little demo. So basically, if you own Paint Tool Sai, just pause the video and copy the settings I have here on the side. These are the settings for my watercolor brush. I don't know if this works with any other art program because I only know, I only use Sai. I do have Clip Studio, Paint, and Photoshop, but I don't draw in them. I do recommend Sai. It's like $50 and it's literally the best program ever. A lot of people used to use it. Not too many people use it anymore, I don't think, because the original Sai did have a bunch of limitations, but with Sai version 2, it fixed all of those problems that the original Sai had. Anyway, rambling, so let's get on to the demonstration. So I'm going to take the watercolor brush, and basically my watercolor brush is transparent. So what I mean by that is if I make a stroke, and then I make a layer under, let me change this color. So if I make a line under the stroke that I made on a different layer, you'll be able to see through my watercolor brush stroke. And really the only way you're going to get like a really opaque color with this brush is if you go over it a few times. And let's see, let's get some random colors. This will work. Let's get some of this, some of that, some of this, I guess. And you can just kind of, you know, blend them together. And that's basically how to use my brush. It's really simple. Like I said, eventually there will be a tutorial that'll go like really in depth in what I do to get my look. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!